All right, oh, my gums forgot my coffee. That can't happen. Okay. Welcome back to 5 days of Crave. It's day 4 already. Can you believe it? It is an absolutely gorgeous day here in Baltimore, and I can't wait for Mr. Wright to get home so I can enjoy the rest of the day with him together. His schedule can be tough at times, but I also like it because he can have like a random day off in the middle of the week and we can get lunch together. And sometimes he's off for really long stretches, but then there's a few times where I can go almost like 3 days not seeing him. I miss my baby, so I'm looking forward to him coming home. I was thinking about like, what do we want to get into tonight? Because my daughter's at a sleepover and I'm like, ding, 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 jackpot. Like, let's fucking go. Let's get it in. So I'm just very excited to see him and see where the night takes us. I'll let you guys know some details tomorrow, I'm sure. So as I'm doing this whole 5 days of Crave, one thing I've noticed is that I have gotten so comfortable in the studio. I come in, like usually I podcast, every other week or once a week, if that. Or I'll do like 4 episodes in a day for Tracy's dog. And it's been really good for me to come in here and get the cadence of pressing record, setting up the camera, getting everything in order. And I don't know, it kind of makes it's becoming easier and feeling natural. You know what I mean? Especially with how much I've had like big breaks in between episodes this year. So this whole 5 days of Crave thing, it's doing its job. I was thinking earlier, what should I talk about today? And something I haven't done for a really long time is shared tips with you. My Just the Tips segment is one of the most popular segments on this show. It's what made me popular and go viral on TikTok. And I really do need to get back to that, by the way. I've got to get back on social media. It's really hard. When you're, a single mom, full-time job, in love, running a household, trying to go to the gym, trying to see friends, running 2 podcast shows. It can just be a lot. Okay, so let's get into my favorite game, my favorite segment on the show, Just the Tip. I have 6 tips for you today. The first one that I really want to talk about is when you are performing oral, are you using your hands? Let's talk about that. I think one of the biggest differentiators between me and other blowjobs that I've seen, right, like I've been in the room, is I notice people aren't using their hands as much as they should. And I really found my trick with Mr. Wright where, he taught me basically as you're, you move, the movement goes with your hand and you squeeze at the top. So it's like you're giving them a hand job and a blow job at the same time. I also love to use 2 hands at the same time. And then if I'm not using my right hand while stroking up and down, which by the way, I'm always doing that never ends. I'm never at any time not using a hand. And then my left hand is Mr. Wright really likes pressure. I told you at the base of his cock. So I'm doing that. Or something else that I'm not ready to share yet. Or I'm, playing with his balls or squeezing his nipples. My hands are always doing something. And all of those movements, they matter. So think about that next time you're going down on your partner. And for women, using a hand, I think, is key. I'm a big fan of when a guy takes both of his hands under my ass and just goes to town, right? I love that. Or rests his hands on my breasts or whatever it may be, holds my hands. Hands are in play here. And also, we cannot underestimate the power of the come here movement, right? So you're, engaging the G-spot while you're stimulating the clit with your mouth. So this runs right into my next tip. But just remember, are you using your hands? And if not, you should be. Okay, today I'm drinking Wawa coffee. Hazelnut, splash of hazelnut cream, 2 Splenda. Please hold. Okay. The next tip, something I've really been wanting to talk about lately, and that is please remember when you are playing with a woman to use light touch. I think this is something that not a lot of people talk about, but it's vital and very important. I can't tell you how many times I've had like a scratch down there or an irritated area down there, or it's just been rubbed raw, right? And it doesn't fucking feel good afterward. And it really doesn't feel good during either. There's many times where I've said like, hey, light touch, be gentle, you know? But this matters. So when you are trying to, you know, turn on your partner or warm up the engine, if you will, think to yourself, like, am I using a light enough touch? I mean, even the slightest touch. In fact, I find, and talk to your partner, right? Because everyone's different, but I find the lighter the touch, the better down there for me. And the more excited I'll get. It's almost like a tease a little bit, and it's just so much better than just, oh my God, do not ever just jam your fingers in, and also just like going down there and rubbing right away. It doesn't feel good. You have to really, you know, use finesse, take your time, slow down, and use like the lightest touch. Think about touching an egg yolk. Seriously. So if you're touching an egg yolk, if you push too hard, the egg yolk's going to break, right? So think about that. Like, use the amount of pressure that you would use on that egg yolk. It's a very good tip, by the way. Okay, so we're going to use a very light touch in all regards. And make sure, you know, lick your fingers. Like, that's such a pro tip. You never want to go down there without some type of lubricant. Use your mouth. And let's talk about that too. Even when you're using your mouth, light touch, light movements. Start really slow. You know, start with variety, end with consistency. And you're not going to be even close to the consistency part for at least 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, let's give it that. And remember, just like light touch, teasing, take it easy. Like I like to say, make out with my clit, right? It's not just down there just like bam, bam, bam. Like that's for the end, right? Okay. Again, talk to your partner, but I just can't underestimate enough the power of light touch. Okay. My next tip is I want you to up your intimacy game. What does that mean? I'm going to give you some examples. Okay. Number 1, eye contact. Are you having a lot of eye contact with your partner when you're going down, you know, when they're on top? Are you guys looking at each other like with intent? It's so hot and sexy. Like the eye contact is such a powerful move. I love that. And it really deepens the intimacy in the moment. I'm also a massively huge fan of breathing in and out of each other's mouth, right? Like you're in sync together. And with every stroke, you know, you're breathing in and breathing out with your partner and just mouths open, like looking at each other. It's something that Mr. Wright and I do a lot, and it's very, very intimate, and I feel so close to him. I have that on my agenda in like 2 hours. So also holding hands in bed, right? So Mr. Wright will hold my hands above my head. He'll hold my hands behind my back. He'll just hold my hand while he's on top. Those little like intimate moments, they really do matter. Fun fact, by the way, those are boundaries for Mr. Wright and I. Like we are not allowed to do those intimate things with other partners. Just something that we've talked about. Last but not least, I mean, I can't stress enough how important it is to maintain kissing and making out with your partner. You know, Mr. Wright and I make out all the time, and there's a lot of kissing going on in the bedroom, and that's a very new thing for me. It's an extremely intimate thing, and what I love too is like the little things, like the little kisses, like when we're in prone position and he finishes, he kisses me on my back, or he'll kiss me on my neck, or, you know, kiss me on my shoulder, whatever it is. And it's just those little moments that really count too when it comes to kissing. And so intimacy, up your game. All right. My next tip is please stop faking it. Like, let's stop faking it. Gosh, I'm getting so comfortable. I just want to like lay back and enjoy my coffee and hang out with you guys. I feel like I'm sitting on a couch over here. For real, you're doing yourself and your partner a disservice when you're faking it. And listen, I faked it many times, but a few years ago I made the decision like, hey, this is not helping me. This isn't helping anybody. And so I quit that shit. It just doesn't do anybody any favors. And I have some things to talk to you about, because even me, someone who is, gosh, I'm like so sexual and so open and, you know, very confident in the bedroom, and my partners are as well, but there are times even still where like sometimes I just can't get there. And I shared with you yesterday, you know, with taking this new medicine, that I'm it's taking a little longer right now, and we'll have a resolution to that eventually. But you know, sometimes it's not going to do it for me like it used to, and that's okay. And the thing is that you have to, speak with your partner, like open that communication and dialogue and let them know. So I told Mr. Right, like, hey, like it's taking me longer, or it's a little bit harder for me. And so we found things that worked, is like introducing toys to the bedroom. Please remember that toys are not your competition. They are your tag team partner, okay? And if you're interested in a toy, I love this for me and a partner. It's the Magic Wand Vibrating Kit from tracysdog.com. Use code CRAVERS20. You get 20% off your entire order. And I love this toy because it's so easy to use and also very quiet, and it's shareable. You can use it with your partner. It also comes with these attachments that I've showed you guys a few times before. Highly recommend the anal bead one. It's very fun. And they have a clitoral stimulating attachment that's a lot of fun too. But I have broken this out so many times with Mr. Right. Like, I remember that we were having a night where we got into the swing and we were on the couch afterward, and I was just like, this is taking forever. And so he went and got the wand, and I affectionately call her Wanda. He went and got Wanda, and he was like, all right, let's do this thing. Another thing that I really want to introduce to you is something that Mr. Wright and I have done a couple times. And it was funny, the first couple times he was like, are you sure? So one day, it was like a Sunday afternoon, and I went downstairs and I was like, hey, like, I think he had like gotten me lunch, and I call it like spoiled girl morning. Like, he takes my daughter to school and then he'll get me coffee. And I just felt like I wanted to give him a little, something. And so I went downstairs and I was like, hey, let me put that in my mouth. And so I'm like doing it. I just don't think that he was really expecting it. And I don't know, I can't even remember. I think we had sex that morning, and he was like having a hard time finishing. He was like, babe, I don't think I'm going to finish. I was like, no, I really want you to. And I said, hey, why don't you get out your phone and watch some porn while I do this, and maybe you can finish that way. And he was like, Adrienne, seriously? And I was like, yeah, like, I'm not offended by that. And one thing I was talking to him about is many of us, I for sure am, and he is too, like, have been conditioned to watching something while we're masturbating. I'm a porn watcher, and that correlation between like the visual and the physical, it has to be made and has to be met. And let's think about 95% probably of the orgasms I've had in life are with myself and while watching porn. And so I was like, yeah. And it was funny because he was like watching this blowjob porn, and he came like, I think within 2 minutes, and he was like, that was really hot. And then we had another moment where it was just, he just was like, I'm just not sure. Like, I think we had been day drinking on the golf course, and he was like, I don't think it's going to happen. And I was like, I tell you what, I was like, I want you to put me in prone position. We'll have like porn above my head, and you can watch that while you beat this up, And he was like, okay. And whatever, right? And I don't have any feelings about that, because like there's been times where it's been taking me a while. I remember one time Mr. Wright went downstairs and got his phone, and he came up and he played this scene. He knows what I'm into. And he played this like gangbang scene, and we were both just like watching it together, and I climaxed really quickly. And that's okay, right? And so introduce a toy at any time. If you have a question about a toy or you want a recommendation, please reach out to me. And then don't be afraid to like think outside the box in ways for your partner to finish. So just whatever you do, don't fake it. This is not a situation where we fake it till we make it. Not here, not in the bedroom. Okay, my next tip is to remind you that foreplay starts outside of the bedroom. That can mean so many different things, right? And I'm also a big fan of reminding people that foreplay starts at the beginning of the day. So, this morning, like when Mr. Wright goes off to work and I'm like, I can't wait to see you later. Bam, he's thinking, oh yeah, I can't wait to see you later either. I'll text him and say, I'm really ready for you to come home now. And I'll take a picture in like a really pretty bra or something, or just little things like that. Like, it's building excitement, building anticipation until we get it in together again. So just don't forget that foreplay starts outside the bedroom. Another way, by the way, is, helping each other around the house. Like, that to me is a little bit of foreplay, right? Like, when I say I have my spoiled girl morning where he brings me breakfast in bed and coffee and does a chore or takes my daughter to school, or, those are things that are turning me on, baby. Like, let's go. Now I don't have to have those things on my mind. And by the way, most women work this way. So now I have time to think about fucking you. And so all of these things correlate to like, happiness in the bedroom. So just don't forget that. All right. My last tip for the day is going to be to remember to use lube. There's nothing, absolutely positively nothing wrong with using lube. No judgment, no shame. Anybody that has that problem, that's their fucking problem. Sex is friction, and lube makes everything better, especially as we're getting older, right? Like, I'll be 44 in August, and luckily I haven't had any dryness issues. However, you know, when you're going to Pound Town for 30 minutes, like, sometimes that shit happens. Or like morning sex, like, I'm like, hey, I haven't revved this engine up, and I know we're both like rearing and ready to go. And so lube is everything. And I want to say I have really been enjoying Astroglide for years. Like, definitely, like, I love that water-based lube, especially with toy use. But in the morning, I have the silicone base, which, by the way, do not ever use that with toys, but I have the silicone-based lube, and it's called Turn On. It's on the website, midlifecraving.com. A friend of mine introduced it to me at a lifestyle party one time, and it's so silky, so smooth, and really, really nice. And so we've been using that as well. But use lube. There's nothing wrong with it. I think Mr. Wright made a comment, and he was like, you're so comfortable and confident in talking about this stuff. And I'm like, what? Why wouldn't I be? Like, I want it to feel good, don't you? Because it doesn't feel good for him either. And so lube it up, baby. And even when I'm doing solo play, I'm using lube. All right. I have another hot tip that I want to share with you, but I'm saving it because I told Mai about it, which that episode, number 94, is dropping on Tuesday with her. Mai is back. We're going to be talking all about like our growth and our journey and how, you know, we both are finding happiness in life now. And it was really good to see her, and I share a really hot tip over there. And yeah, when I think about 94 episodes, I want to ask you, like, what should I do for 100? Like, give me some ideas. I don't know. I don't know if I should go really big. I don't know if I should have a bunch of guests on. I don't know what to do, but I feel like I need to celebrate 100. 100 episodes. Like, that's just insane to me. So that's coming up, and have a great Saturday night. I'll be back tomorrow for day 5 of 5 days of Crave. I'm so glad I challenged myself to this because it's been a lot of fun. So cheers to the weekend. I hope you have a great night. Okay. I've been dying to drink this coffee.